In a dramatic and potentially game-changing twist in the Diddy trial, the defense team has thrown down the gauntlet, unveiling a bold and undeniably controversial strategy. They aren't just refuting the damning allegations of abuse leveled against their client, they are asserting that the tumultuous relationship between Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura was defined by mutual violence. Yes, you heard that right. While not shying away from the specter of domestic violence, the defense is claiming that Cassie was far from a passive victim, alleging that she too engaged in physical acts against the music mogul. What specific evidence will the defense present to back up this explosive claim, and will it be enough to sway the jury? This stunning counter-narrative emerged during a pivotal exchange on the trial's fourth day, a tense courtroom confrontation between prosecutor Emily Ann Johnson and Diddy's lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, before the watchful eye of Judge Aaron Subramanian. The initial discussion centered on the delicate boundaries of Cassie's cross-examination, specifically concerning sensitive medical information. However, the conversation took an abrupt and significant turn when Agnifilo laid bare the defense's core strategy to redefine the very nature of the relationship. How will the prosecution attempt to dismantle this narrative of mutual violence and maintain their portrayal of Cassie as the primary victim in this alleged abuse? Agnifilo's words were direct and unequivocal. He declared that the defense is going to take the position there was mutual violence in their relationship, explicitly stating hitting on both sides, DV, domestic violence. This isn't a subtle attempt at denial, it's a frontal assault on the prosecution's portrayal of Diddy as the sole aggressor, suggesting a far more complex and volatile dynamic where violence allegedly emanated from both sides. Agnifilo even went so far as to question the critical point at which such violence escalates into coercion, hinting at a potential argument that while physical altercations may have occurred, they weren't necessarily driven by Diddy's dominance and control. What legal hurdles might the defense face in introducing evidence of Cassie's alleged past behavior? And how will the prosecution likely object to its admissibility, potentially citing issues of relevance or prejudice? Judge Subramanian, seeking clarity amidst this dramatic shift in strategy, pressed Agnifilo, asking point-blank if the defense was simply arguing that their relationship was just violent. Agnifilo's response was firm and resolute. Right. We're saying it's relevant. The perceived relevance, it appears, lies in the defense's attempt to contextualize the alleged assault, to paint a picture of a relationship marred by reciprocal aggression, potentially mitigating Diddy's culpability for the specific incident captured on video. Given the graphic nature of the alleged assault caught on tape, how persuasive will the defense's claim of mutual violence be to the jury? Could this strategy inadvertently undermine their attempts to discredit the visual evidence? The prosecution, while acknowledging the defense's bold new stance, appears determined to maintain their narrative of Diddy as the abuser. Emily Ann Johnson stated her intention to submit a formal letter to the court addressing this very issue and emphatically reiterated the prosecution's unwavering plan to present compelling visual evidence, the raw security footage, and the corrected CNN version of the harrowing 2016 hotel beating. This visual evidence will undoubtedly serve as a powerful and visceral counterpoint to the defense's claims of mutual violence, potentially leaving a lasting and undeniable impression on the jury. How might the prosecution strategically use expert testimony on domestic violence to educate the jury about the complexities of abusive relationships and challenge the defense's notion of mutual combat, potentially highlighting the power imbalances that often exist? The defense's strategy is undeniably a high-stakes gamble. While acknowledging the existence of domestic violence within the relationship could potentially humanize Diddy in the eyes of some jurors, it also carries the significant risk of alienating others, particularly those who hold strong beliefs about accountability for abusive behavior and who may find the concept of mutual abuse problematic. Furthermore, attempting to portray Cassie, the alleged victim in the video evidence, as also violent could be a difficult and potentially insensitive sell to the jury. Will the defense's strategy of claiming mutual violence ultimately risk alienating potential jurors, particularly those who are survivors of domestic abuse or who hold strong beliefs about accountability for such actions? And how might the jury interpret Diddy's increasingly serious demeanor in court in light of this defense strategy, potentially viewing it as an admission of some wrongdoing, even if framed as mutual? The Diddy trial has now taken a dramatic and potentially volatile turn, with the defense launching a bold and risky counter-narrative. The battle lines are no longer solely drawn over whether abuse occurred, but over the very nature of the relationship between Diddy and Cassie. The jury will be tasked with unraveling a complex and potentially disturbing dynamic, and the outcome could hinge on whose version of the truth ultimately resonates with them. Welcome back to C Trends, where we dissect the ever-evolving narratives shaping the world of celebrity and entertainment. Today, we delve deeper into the fourth day of the Diddy trial, a day that saw a significant shift in the defense's strategy, introducing a complex and potentially controversial counter-narrative to the allegations of abuse against Sean "Diddy" Combs. As we established in the intro, Diddy's legal team has boldly asserted that the relationship between the music mogul and his former partner, Cassie Ventura, was marred by mutual violence. This isn't a simple denial of the alleged abuse, it's an attempt to reframe the entire dynamic, suggesting a relationship where both individuals engaged in physical acts of aggression. The courtroom exchange between prosecutor Emily Ann Johnson and Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, before Judge Aaron Subramanian, was pivotal in revealing this new defense strategy. Initially, the discussion centered on the parameters of Cassie's cross-examination, specifically concerning sensitive medical information that the prosecution sought to shield. However, the conversation took a dramatic turn when Agnifilo laid out the defense's intention to argue mutual violence within the relationship. Agnifilo's statement was direct and unambiguous. He explicitly told the court that the defense would take the position that there was mutual violence in their relationship, emphasizing hitting on both sides, DV, domestic violence. This admission of domestic violence, coupled with the assertion of mutuality, represents a significant strategic pivot. It acknowledges the presence of violence but reframes Diddy not as the sole aggressor, but as one half of a mutually violent dynamic. Agnifilo further questioned the point at which such violence could be considered coercive, hinting at an argument that seeks to differentiate between isolated acts of aggression and a pattern of dominance and control. Judge Subramanian sought to clarify the defense's position, asking if they were arguing that the relationship was just violent. Agnifilo's affirmative response, stating, "Right, we're saying it's relevant," underscores the defense's intent to contextualize the alleged assault within a broader history of alleged reciprocal aggression. The defense aims to paint a picture of a volatile relationship where violence was not solely initiated by Diddy. The prosecution, represented by Emily Ann Johnson, appeared prepared to counter this strategy. While acknowledging the defense's stated position, Johnson reiterated the prosecution's unwavering plan to present crucial visual evidence: 2 cell phone videos and the corrected CNN footage of the 2016 hotel beating allegedly inflicted by Diddy upon Cassie in Los Angeles. This visual evidence depicting a specific instance of alleged assault will undoubtedly serve as a powerful cornerstone of the prosecution's narrative, potentially contradicting the defense's claims of mutuality. The defense's decision to assert mutual violence is a high-stakes gamble with potentially significant consequences. While acknowledging the existence of domestic violence within the relationship could, in theory, humanize Diddy in the eyes of some jurors, it also carries the considerable risk of alienating others, particularly those who hold strong beliefs about the dynamics of abusive relationships and may find the concept of mutual abuse to be a mischaracterization of power imbalances. Furthermore, attempting to portray Cassie, the alleged victim in the highly publicized video evidence, as also being physically violent could be a difficult and potentially insensitive argument to make to the jury. The trial now stands at a critical juncture, with the defense introducing a complex and potentially controversial counter-narrative. The focus shifts from simply determining whether abuse occurred to understanding the intricate dynamics of the relationship between Diddy and Cassie. The jury will be tasked with unraveling a potentially disturbing history, weighing the graphic visual evidence of the alleged assault against the defense's claims of mutual violence. The success of the defense's strategy will likely hinge on the specific evidence they present and their ability to convince the jury that the relationship was indeed characterized by reciprocal aggression, thereby potentially mitigating Diddy's culpability for the filmed incident. We here at C Trends are committed to providing you with comprehensive and insightful analysis of this unfolding legal drama. We will continue to dissect every development, examine the evidence presented by both sides, and analyze the legal strategies at play. To stay up to date on all the latest twists and turns of the Diddy trial, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Now, we want to hear from you. What are your initial reactions to the defense's claim of mutual violence? Do you think this strategy will be effective in swaying the jury? What kind of evidence do you anticipate the defense will present to support this claim? Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments section below. If you're finding our in-depth coverage of the Diddy trial informative, you might also be interested in our previous videos exploring Diddy legal battles, such as Diddy's Hidden Victim 5, What Are They Afraid to Reveal, or our analysis of Diddy trial. The videos everyone's talking about. These videos offer further context and analysis of similar legal complexities. You can find links to these videos on the screen right now. Thank you for joining us on CE Trends. Your support allows us to continue bringing you this in-depth coverage. Stay tuned for more updates on the Diddy trial and other trending stories from the world of celebrity and entertainment. Until next time, stay informed.